Hello, welcome to Imperfect English. I'm Alex, and I'm really glad you are here. This podcast is for people who want to speak English. Not perfect English, not fast English, just real English. Spoken slowly, spoken clearly. I will speak slowly in every episode. I will say things more than once, and I will give you time to repeat after me. That's called shadowing. It works. We will do it a lot. But today, before we practice anything, I want to talk to you first. Because I think you need to hear something that maybe nobody has told you yet. Let me ask you something. How long have you been studying English? 1 year? 3 years? Maybe more? And right now, can you speak English easily? Can you talk to someone without stopping, without freezing, without forgetting everything you know? If the answer is no, I understand, and I want you to know something. It is not your fault. Say that with me. It is not my fault. It is not my fault. Good. Hold on to that. Let me explain what I mean. Most people who study English follow the same path. They go to class, they read the textbook, they learn grammar rules, they write exercises, they study vocabulary lists. And then one day, someone speaks to them in English, and they freeze. The words are gone. The mouth doesn't move. The mind just goes blank. This happens to a lot of people. It's probably happened to you, and most people think, there's something wrong with me, but there isn't. Here's what's actually happening. Think about swimming. Can you learn to swim by reading about it? No. You can read every book about swimming in the world, and you will still sink the first time you get in the water. You learn to swim by getting in the water. That's it. Speaking English works exactly like that. Your mouth needs to practice speaking. Your ears need to hear real sentences. Your brain needs to connect sound to meaning without stopping to translate. But school didn't teach you that. School taught you to read, to write, to pass tests. Speaking was maybe 5 minutes at the end of class, if there was time. So your head is full of English, but your mouth has almost never used it. That is not your fault. That is the way most schools work. Let's shadow this together now. I'll say a sentence, then you say it right after me. Speaking is a physical skill. My mouth needs to practice. I was taught the wrong method. It is not my fault. Good. Really good. Okay, there's a second reason this happens. When you want to say something in English, what goes on in your head? You think the idea in your own language first. Then you try to translate it. Then you check the grammar. Then, finally, you try to say it out loud. And by then, the other person has already moved on. The moment is gone. I know that feeling. A lot of learners know it. The problem is not that you are slow. The problem is that translating is slow. It will always be slow. Every language has its own word order, its own sounds, its own rhythm. So when you go word by word from one language to another, the sentence comes out late, or it comes out wrong, or sometimes it just doesn't come out. The answer isn't to translate faster. The answer is to stop translating and start thinking in English directly. I know that sounds like a lot right now. And honestly, it takes time. It doesn't happen this week. But every time you listen to slow English and repeat it out loud, you are training your brain to reach for English first, before your own language. It builds slowly, but it builds. Let's shadow. Translating makes speaking slow. I want to think in English. I will stop translating. Every day it gets a little easier. Good. There's one more reason, and this one is harder to talk about. Fear. Maybe you are afraid to make a mistake. Maybe you tried to speak English once, and it went badly, and now that moment lives in your head. Maybe you are just afraid of looking stupid. That feeling is real. I'm not going to tell you it isn't, but here's something worth thinking about. The first time you drove a car, were you afraid? Most people are. The car feels too big. Your hands don't know where to go. Everything is happening too fast. But you kept driving, and slowly, it became normal. English speaking works the same way. The fear doesn't go away before you practice. The fear goes away because you practice. Every sentence you say out loud, even a bad one, even a wrong one, makes the next sentence a little easier. That's not motivation talk. That's just how the brain works. Let's shadow this part. The fear gets smaller every time I practice. I open my mouth. I say one sentence. I get a little braver. I keep going. Good. That was really good. So, 3 reasons you can't speak yet. The method you were taught didn't include enough speaking practice. Your brain got trained to translate instead of think in English. And fear stepped in and made everything harder. None of that is your fault, and all of it can change. Here's what actually helps. First, listen to slow English every day. Not movies, not news, not fast YouTube videos. Something slow and clear, where you can hear every word. This podcast is a good place to start. 10 minutes a day is enough. Just listen. Your brain is working, even when you don't feel it. Second, shadow. That means you hear a sentence and you say it out loud right away. Don't translate, don't wait. Just open your mouth and copy the sound. It will feel strange the first few times. Do it anyway. 5 minutes a day. Third, talk to yourself. When you are alone, walking somewhere, making food, just say what you see in English. I am making coffee. It is cold outside. I feel tired today. No one is listening. No pressure. Just your voice. Getting used to English. Those 3 things work. Not because they are complicated, but because they actually use your mouth, your ears, and your brain at the same time. Do them every day, and in a week, you will feel something shift. Not fluency, not yet, but something. Let's do one final practice before we finish. Repeat after me. I listen to slow English every day. I shadow. I speak to myself in English. I am building something. Every day, little by little. Good. Before I go, a lot of people listening to this right now have been studying English for years and still feel stuck. That's a hard feeling to carry around. I want you to know, you are not behind. You just needed a different method. Now you have one. Come back tomorrow. We will do this again. I'm Alex. This is Imperfect English. Take care.